What's up, Travel Quest Network? Hello, how are you doing? I am Joshua Harrell, and this is Friday, so it is the Weekly Chatter Live. Welcome, welcome, come on in. We're gonna have a grand time over this next hour. We've got, some guests, we've got topics, we've got sales, and most of all, we've got you. So if you are a member of Travel Quest Network, and you are a member of our members only Facebook group, then that's where the action's at. And please keep that comments area alive. We are going to come back to the comments throughout the show. Share your wins, share your challenges. Just say hi. We're just happy to hear from you. Now, I am gonna, before I bring in my co-host, I am going to say I'm sorry for those of you who saw the misfire that I did just before the show started. It accidentally went to just a mixed up screen. So thank you for bearing with me. You know what? We like to keep it live here. You never know what's going to happen. It could be a total, what is that, like a gaffe? I don't know. That's what happened. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring my co-host for today, the CEO of Travel Quest Network, Jason Block. Jason, how are you?
What's up, Joshua? Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday to you. Are you ready for the weekend?
I am. I still have some to-dos after we're done with the show, but yes, I'm ready for the weekend. Are
I
you ready for
feel
the weekend?
I feel like if we compare to-do lists, I think it'd be like, oh no, mine's bigger than yours. I don't know.
Is
Yeah.
everybody else ready for the weekend? I hope so.
Yes. If you are ready for the weekend and you're doing something fun, and that could just be lying in the bed with your dogs. That's what I'm going to be doing. Please let us know in the comments. Jason, so glad to have you as a
Good to be here.
co-host today, and because you come to with us every week, and I have loved the interviews that you have been doing with our members. We have amazing members, but
We do.
I mean,
We
it's
do.
been fun. Has it been fun for you?
Oh, it's been a blast for me. Even if we didn't broadcast it anywhere, I'd want to keep doing it because, just selfishly, it's a great opportunity to hear the stories. How people got into the business, and not one of them are the same. There's all kinds of different backgrounds, and I'm sure all of you who talk to each other in the network or other people in the industry, I hope you find it as interesting as I do to hear all the different stories and different perspectives and how people came to be where they are. I just find it fascinating and a lot of fun. So I'm
W-
glad we're doing it.
Whenever you do them, I'm off camera and I'm taking notes because
Yeah,
you never know when there's going to be like this golden nugget. And
yeah,
Michael from Park Prodigy, I mean, he was full of them. And then last week with Elisa Myatt, I felt like that was just action packed.
yeah. And for me, that to me, I get inspired by them and a lot of the things that they say and the ideas they have. And we certainly have, if you look at some of our past guests, just from the short time we've been doing this, there's so many people that we'd love to bring back and spend more time with because they do have such great insight. Um,
Yes.
so hopefully, our network is enjoying those, and we're certainly going to continue to do them. And I know a lot of people have reached out and said, "Yeah, these are great." So
Yeah.
I'm glad we're doing it.
Yes, I am too. So, do you want to go over to the comments and see what's going on in members
Let's do
only
it.
Facebook group? Okay. All right, I got to get out the phone, It's old school here. All right, so let's see here. Kara is joining us. Happy Friday. Yay for no carpool lane today. Okay, that's right.
Woo!
Because she does join us for the carpool lane, but no carpool lane today. Ferdinand, the inflatable unicorn, says that is wonderful. Um, I think I should get a puppet. There is a comedian that has like a little monkey as a puppet, and the monkey says inappropriate, like the inner thinkings of
Mm-hmm.
the puppet master. Are they called puppet masters?
Uh,
Um, eh,
I don't know, but that sounds like a great idea to put on that parking lot list of things to think about, and you can see if you still love that idea next week.
Wow, that was good. Oh, that was good. Thank you for that. He just checked me all. All right, Daniela is joining us again. Happy Friday, everyone. Good to see you, Daniela. Andy,
Hey,
hello from the allure of the seas.
nice.
I love that you're taking a break from being on Royal Caribbean and you're joining us on the weekly chatter, Andy. Thank you. Let's see. Our Tatiana said, "Happy Friday." If you don't know Tatiana, she is the master of agent profiler, engagement, leader's edge, and she has been creating. She's taken over the agent profiler workshops, and she is really doing an amazing job with them. And then she also just recently completed some webinars around engagement and leader's edge. That's a website program that you have access to as a part of Travel Quest Network. Please, 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 if you're curious about engagement, you're curious, like maybe you don't have time for a website, you don't care about websites, but you know you need one. Please, please check them out. Those are on the training video section in the Pro Portal. So you definitely want to check it out. Tatiana, thank you for joining us. Um,
Fantastic programs. And for those of you who haven't, I can't miss the opportunity, Joshua. For those of you who have not heard or have been living under a rock these last few months, if Agent Profiler is a great program, a great tool, but when you use our system for using it, it really lights some gas underneath it and really helps it go. So check out those workshops, and you will generate more leads over the next year. That I'm almost willing to guarantee you. But you got to put in some work, but the workshops will show you how to do it because we have a way of doing it that works.
Yes. And Tatiana was just sharing some chatter going on in the members only Facebook group of evangelists for Agent Profiler. So check
Yeah.
out Terry and Katie talking about how wonderful Agent Profiler is. It's not just us. It's not just Jason and I talking about it. It
Good.
the
Good.
proof is in the pudding. So
That's right.
Tatiana, again, thank you for joining us. Jen has joined us. Happy Friday, everyone. Uh, our Deb joins us. Happy Friday, fam bam. Love your energy, Deb. Love your energy. Let's see. Our Angela joined us. Happy Friday from cooled Iowa, 27 degrees.
Ooh,
Now,
yeah,
Jason, you lived in Minnesota for a while. You're
sure.
also a Floridian like me. I think Atlanta was a good happy medium, right?
Happy compromise. A little bit of the seasons, occasionally some snow, but definitely no snow blowers.
Yeah,
It's a nice
that
compromise.
I would be peace out on that one. Let's see here. Oh gosh, I forgot about this. I follow Kara on Instagram, as many of you do, because she's got a fantastic Instagram. And she's saying here, I just got back from Cuba on Tuesday and I loved it. I'm trying to act
Oh,
these
wow.
out. I highly recommend it to everyone. So, Jason, I don't know if you saw her post because I know you kind of check in on Instagram occasionally. I did Cuba
Uh-huh.
on a cruise line. I got to go to three ports.
Right,
The
right.
way she did Cuba, very, very different. She really captured.
Hey, tell me. For those of us who didn't see it, tell me.
Yeah, you've guys, you gotta. Kara, will you please drop in your handle for Instagram because you
Yes, I
guys need to check it out. She was hanging with the locals. She was eating amazing food. It wasn't just the photos of the old cars.
right.
I always feel like when somebody goes, they got the old cars. I just was really really impressed, and Kara's business is Experience Culture. That's the name of her company,
Mhm.
and I really felt like she showed that in her Instagram. So mad props to Kara. I'm so
Cool.
jealous.
Definitely have to check that out.
Let's see. Um, okay, so Daniela is sharing with us a challenge. And Jason,
Oh,
I know you know this because we've been talking a lot about it. She's been working with Velma because she's doing some hosted groups, and she's talked about this before. She said, "Scepter is finally working on my Iceland group trip I requested 6 to 7 weeks ago. My request got lost in the shuffle. How many times has that happened to any of you out there? But her win. I like that she's given like a here's the want note, and then here's my upbeat note. I'm attending a local church event tomorrow and ready to promote my group cruise, Royal Caribbean, Canada, and New England.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very
I
cool.
I love it, and I am correct in saying this, Danielle. Both of these trips you are hosting, right? These are trips that you are hosting. So please let us know in the comments.
That's great.
I'm going to call her Aloha Rebecca, our Hawaii expert. She said, Happy Aloha Friday. So ready for this weekend. No more tropical storms and sunshine to look forward to. So, Rebecca moved to Florida from the Northwest, so I'm sure she is happy. And oh my gosh, Stacy, thank you for reminding us. Happy Veterans Day
Happy
to
Veterans Day. That's right.
she said to her fellow vets. Thank you guys for all that you have done for us. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you
Absolutely.
for reminding us, Stacy. Our Britta joined us. Happy Friday. Jen said, "Oops, she kind of got caught off there." So she got cut off with what she's typing. So Jason, I'm looking at it. It says challenging week with clients. Boom.
Mic
Uh,
drop.
yeah, I don't
That
know
was
what to
it.
tell you. I love Jen to death, but I think that's fantastic. Let's see. Rebecca said to Kara talking about Cuba, awesome. That's on my bucket list. Rebecca, please check out her post. She really did Cuba well. To be honest with you, Jason, I think when I
Mhm.
went, I had just joined Travel Quest Network, and I only
Yeah.
took a picture of a dog in Havana. That was my only.
My memory of your trip there was you were with Terry, if I remember, or were you? Did you go separate times?
We did separate times, but I
Okay.
think it was within the same year. Yeah.
But
He
Terry
he
looked like he fit in. Like he had the shirt and the hat, and he was there.
he was
But
in it.
you're right. All I do remember that you came back was like, oh, look at this dog.
Yeah, because this dog, the dogs were just kind of roaming around, but this one dog had all this attitude. He was like, "Yeah, this is my beat. This is where I hang out." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I've got to get a picture of you." So anyway, that's yeah, I'm the social media expert. That's fantastic. Go to Cuba one time, and that's all you get. Emily said, "Happy Friday, hello everyone." Emily, so glad to see you. Um, Velma said she's great. Our Velma, who's going to be joining us in a little bit. I'm great at inappropriate comments. Let me know if I can help. So I don't know what to do with that, but okay. Cynthia said hello all, happy Friday. Let's see, our Amy joined us. Happy Friday and Veterans Day. And let's see. Yeah, so we've got some more comments. We'll come back to it. We'll come
All
back to
right.
it. So so in just a little bit, we're going to talk to Velma. Velma always brings us the top sales positions,
Yep.
and it's really been you. We had a meeting recently, and I'm kind of putting you on your spot on the spot because you didn't know we were going to go there, but I kind of I liked I liked how you were talking about the sales that we're seeing right now, and in comparison with past banner years that we've had. And this year, just so those people who are joining, I mean, obviously we've heard from so many of our members saying this is the busiest they have ever been. So we've been seeing that, but we're right now seeing tons of departures,
Mhm.
lots of commissions coming in. Do you want to just speak to it? I mean, kind of what your feeling is and what you're seeing. I think everyone would love to kind of get inside your head, at least from what you're seeing. And you've been looking at this, for a long time and through the pandemic. So where are we at right now, you think?
I mean, on the whole, and forgive me, some of the numbers I won't be able to cite specifically because it's not in front of me. But on the whole, where we are at as a network is extremely strong, and at the individual level, when we look at averages, one of the things that we look at is average revenue generation. So essentially, how much are each of you earning, and that's certainly continuing to go up, and it's quite a bit higher than it was in 2019, and dramatically higher than it was, to start the year. So we're continuing to see the build back. We're continuing to see, more agency owners and members in our network who are actively booking, and they're not only selling more, but they're having more bookings and more revenue. So it's kind of all of those things are moving forward. And when we talk about, when we look internally at the health of our network, it's a lot of host agencies. It's always about, oh, how many agents do you have? How many members do you have? That's part of it, as any host agency. But the much more important thing is every individual. Are you growing your business? Are you able to earn more money? And those are the numbers we're seeing that are going up and going up fairly dramatically. When we look at our at Travel Coast Network compared to 2019, which was kind of our last normal year, right? And 2019 was a banner year in all across the industry. Um, and yes, we've added some members since 2019, but we're seeing our sales up over 40% compared to 2019. So you know um, it's a really great story, and I think we have a really healthy industry right now. It's not free of worry. It's not free of potential challenges, but I think on the whole, despite some of the economic concerns, things like inflation, fuel prices, all these things, um, the American consumer demand for travel is still extremely strong, and I think that doesn't slow down significantly anytime really soon. Obviously, in anytime you're running in a high growth environment, you can't, at a macro level, you can't maintain that forever, right? There's going to be ebbs and flows, right? But as we look out at 23 and even into 24, we're seeing really strong booking activity, and at the consumer level, they're still looking to travel, especially at the high end. And we talked about this a few weeks ago. There are all sorts of opportunities at the upper end of the market, and I don't mean true ultra lux private jet charters, things like that. I mean just the higher end of the market. Those higher income consumers, and we have a couple of headlines from this week that we'll talk about later that kind of underscore that. But there's lots of opportunities all across the market, but definitely in the higher end, some of those opportunities are really pronounced. And I think whether you've been in this industry for 25 years or 25 days, there are a lot of opportunities to be had. And you're right, Joshua. We hear day in, day out, you know, a lot of people are saying, I can't keep up with the demand, which is a whole nother problem, right? How do you grow your business to be more efficient and beyond yourself and really scale it? Whereas in maybe years past, it's a lot more types of questions around how do I get business now. We still have new people in the network, and I'm sure some of you listening right now are relatively new in the business, or even if you've been in it for a while and you're looking to grow your business, that's absolutely the case. um, and we're looking at more and more programs to help you do that. Those agent profile workshops are a great opportunity to grow your business. And you know if you do that right, if you use that program the right way, you're looking at a six-figure sales opportunity, and a five-figure revenue opportunity just from that program. And it's free. All it takes is some time to participate. So there's more opportunity, frankly, than we know what to do with right now. So generally, to answer your question, things look really strong, and so let's take advantage while it does. Right?
Absolutely. And I want to kind of tack on to you referencing Agent Profiler, because when you pair that with engagement, which is
Mhm.
that free email marketing direct mail component that works in synchrony with your Agent Profiler, I mean that's set your marketing on autopilot
Mhm.
and really watch it grow. You just have to continually build your email list and make
Yeah.
sure that you're constantly, don't be quiet. There's no reason to be quiet. Make sure people know who you are and what's going on. But I wanted you to talk about that, because I mean, obviously we've heard from certain members, especially on the weekly chatter. That's always my reference point.
Mhm.
But we have a lot of people who did get their business started maybe earlier this year. They've seen a little bit of activity, but
Mhm.
I kind of wanted to, peel back the curtain a little bit because it's tough to be starting your business. You're just getting things going. You got your marketing going. You're getting your education. You're staying in touch with what our suppliers and travel partners are doing.
Mhm.
But you can feel a little, ugh, is it going to happen for me? But
Mhm.
the outlook is really, really positive right now, and that's I thank you for going into to detail.
Yeah, there's one more thing. We talk about um, the agency owner stories, the interviews that we've been doing, and for the most part, and there's some exceptions, right? Some people are able to make immediate traction in getting really rapid growth, but generally, as you look across the industry, and as I look at, frankly, people like my father and his friends that are in their 60s and 70s, many of them started in this industry when they were 20. It was their first job, their first real career, and they've still been in it. And it takes time to be successful. I'm not telling you it's going to take 50 years, but you know, it is not an overnight process. This is not a get rich quick MLM scheme where, you got to just go to the grocery store and tell five people, about travel. That's not how this works. And I know all you know that, right? I'm preaching the choir. Um, but it is not an overnight thing. And I hope something that everybody is able to take from those stories is, even if you are new and you're not feeling it and you're concerned if things are going to work out for you, I think you can look at those people who have been successful by staying the course and doing the right things. That if you stick with it, yeah, you can really achieve some amazing results. And so, I think that's always something to hang your hat on is just knowing that for the vast majority, this is not an overnight thing.
Right.
And I know, Joshua, businesses you've had and I've had, it's not an overnight thing, ever.
It is never, if you build it, they will come. And
Right.
even though we all know that, it's such a cliche, I can't tell you how many times I made a start without any means to go on. Like the fortitude, and I think that's why I preach about it so much, is I just wish that back when I had my businesses that weren't in, they were not in travel, I wish I had a community of
Mhm.
like-minded individuals who were sharing stories like the ones who have shared them in the interviews, but also what we see in our members only Facebook group and our
Yep.
events. I wish I had had that because I wouldn't have given up on many of those dreams. But you know what? I'm gonna say it worked out for me because I'm
Yeah.
exactly where I should be. So
No
no
paradox.
regrets.
That's right.
No regrets. Well, I'm in control of the deck right now. So I've got the power.
You got
There's
it.
for all of you who like when I sing. Yeah, yeah, that's the encouragement, right? I need. Well, we have Velma standing by. So I thought I'd bring her in. Hey, Velma, how are ya?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Look at that. You
Oh,
you got
Woo,
three
three
you
of
got
us.
3 for 1 there. How's that, guys?
I like this. I like it
You
like this.
very nice.
it's
Yeah.
a Velma sandwich.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna lift off that one.
Yeah.
Velma, how are you doing? How's it going down in Texas?
Well, it's I personally am very well. The weather is really yucky. It's drizzly, rainy. We're going to have a freeze tonight, which we're not used to, too often. And so that's the weather here. And I was remarking on your comment about the guy that had the little monkey thing that does inappropriate, and I'm great at that. So anytime you need someone just to sit and remark and say things you wouldn't want them to say, that's me. I'm your girl.
Okay, so Jason, I'm thinking about Travel Quest World in 2023, and I'm seeing me on stage. Like I know that's a stretch. Me on stage, and then Velma just sitting on a corner, and then like let's zoom in the camera on her, and she can translate. I don't.
Yes,
In an inappropriate
yes,
comments.
yes.
She could
I'm all
heckle.
in on
She
that.
could heckle me. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, we're gonna get off this topic, and Velma, I am going to hand it over to you
Okay.
for our sales positions, and unfortunately, I'm going to transition right into the drum roll for the third position. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go.
All right. Woohoo. Okay. And number three, it's $13,323. This member sold pretty much two suppliers to get that figure. They sold Delta Vacations and Funjet, and I think that's just great. They put a lot of focus on tours for this week, and that's a great figure. Oh my gosh! And then number two,
Oh, hold on,
16.
hold on.
Whoa. Okay, got ahead of the drum roll. All right. In the number two position, 16,137. This member, they just focused on one supplier, Unique Vacations. And if you've ever sold Unique Vacations, sandals or beaches, there's a lot of commission in that. So great job. Great job. Then in the number one position, 20,000. Yes, Joshua, I said $20,316. Now, this is interesting. That figure is about half of that was made up with cruise sales, and the other half was in tour. They sold NCL, Princess, and then they sold American Airlines, Apple Vacations, Funjet. And this is interesting. I haven't seen this supplier too much, but now it's coming on. And you don't have to sell much, but Insight. If the members start selling Insight, they'll start really upping their revenue. Insight Vacations, they pay great commission, and they're very reliable, I think. So,
Well, let's first give a big round of applause.
woohoo!
Great job, those of
Mhm.
you who made it to the top three. Okay, that's going on way too long.
Mhm.
Congratulations to those of you who made it to the top three, but we know that there were a lot of people on that list with some big numbers for the last week. But for those of us who are not familiar with Insight, and you're giving them a little endorsement, what is Insight known for?
I always used them when I had a customer that wanted an escorted type trip with a lot of personal attention and more an upper luxury level. I used Insight. They have they a lot of attention to detail, and they're pricier. There's no doubt about that. But it's travel's just like everything else. You're going to get what you pay for, and if you want the best and you want a lot of attention, personal service, then I do recommend them. And I was just curious, Joshua. I was looking at, I always like to see what's selling,
I I
and
know you are a curious little monkey. Yes.
I
Okay.
guess I am. And I noticed that we have sold some Rocky Mountaineer, which I'm thrilled about. That is such a great product. And I was curious, do you sing Rocky Mountain High by John Denver?
You know what? You're catching me on the spot because I can't remember it to save my life. So thank
He was
you.
born in the 27th year of.
You're
Yeah,
going. You're yeah, yeah, yeah.
well,
Uh,
never
W-
mind.
Whitney Houston, Thelma Houston. Yeah, I can even some Brandy I can break out, but now
Maybe
I'm
next
gonna.
week.
Would you say, Jason?
Maybe next week. We can rehearse it for a little few days and
I like it. I
I
like
can
it.
just see you singing that. It's kind of. mellow and kind of
Oh,
see you
I,
doing that. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, Velma, thank you so much for joining us. As always, and guys, when Velma speaks, listen. Okay, so forget the inappropriate comments. She listen to the words she chooses to use when she's talking about unique vacations, insight. These are things. How long you been doing this, Velma?
Long time.
A long time. So, you know what? Listen to Velma, and you know what? Definitely reach out to Velma. She does all of our pro coaching sessions, so definitely check that out. And
Yes.
you can
Yes.
email Velma and ask her all about it if you haven't heard about our pro coaching. So,
That's right.
anyway, thank you, Velma. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks. You too. Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Jason.
Bye, Velma.
She is a ray of sunshine.
Yes, she is.
She
I
is a
adore
ray.
her.
Yeah. She makes me laugh, and even when she's having when she shares her challenges, she has got her spirit is just very uplifting. But I like her. I like her little side remarks too. So, uh, well, before we go to the headlines, I want to come back to the comments. You guys have been keeping it alive down there. Um, Tatiana, she jumped in to give you the path to get to those replays of the engagement and Leaders Edge webinars. Go to WorldVia Pro, go to Learn, and then you go to Training Videos. And you scroll down to the bottom and you will see them where their names are Engagement and obviously Leaders Edge. And then if you want to join the Agent Profiler workshop we were talking about, it's a two-part series. So you sign up for the first one and then you get the link to the second one. Those are listed in the event calendar. So go sign up. What is that? Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 or something like that. Yeah, just sign up if you haven't done it already. You will have a grand time. All right, Aurelia, agency services manager, she says she loves my sweater. It's sweater weather. Sweater weather. Okay. Shannon joins us. Hello. And Jen said, took my first agent profiler class yesterday in the process of completing my bio. Way to go, Jen. Look at that. We did not, Jen is not a plant. We love her to death, but she's not a plant. Oh, and here's another one. Man, I took Tatiana's agent profiler class yesterday. It was very helpful, even though I've been using it for a while. And she's got a great profile. Um, let's see. She said, I just sent you a list of things I need your help with that didn't update when I made them, Tatiana. LOL. Appreciate your help. I like that. She's like, yay, I'm going to promote this. And by the way, I need a little help there.
No.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Debbie said, hi all. Sorry I'm late. Happy Friday. You're not late. The party doesn't start until you get here, Debbie. So just you don't forget about everything else. Let's see. It's a weather day. So Velma was kind of starting our she was presenting the weather of Texas when she was just on. So Shannon said, I'm in Minnesota. It was a beautiful 60 yesterday, and today it is 19. That is a bit much. Oh yes, Kara said her handle is at Experience Culture. That's her Instagram handle. So go search for her on Instagram, guys, and check out her Cuban adventure. I like that. Were you about to say something, Jason? I felt like I just talked over you.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Oh, okay. Let's see. We got some more comments. We'll come back to them. I want to make sure we leave time for the headlines. So I'm jumping off, guys, but stay in the comments. We will come back to it. But before we go to the headlines, which Jason and when Jason's not here, Velma steps in. I love when they bring the headlines because it really gets you in tune with the industry, and I love what they pick out from the headlines that they think is important. So we're going to get to that in 1 second. I just want to remind you that we have two exclusive partner trainings going on next week. On the 15th at 3, we have British Virgin Islands. So our Celeste will be hosting that. And then on the 16th at 3, we have Azamara. Again, Celeste will be hosting that. Those should be in pro. If they're not already there, they will be there very, very soon. Please register for those and learn more about the British Virgin Islands as well as Azamara. And Jason, you haven't been on Azamara, neither have I.
I have not. I was supposed to go on two different occasions, and each time a conflict arose and I couldn't go. But I have not been. I'd love. I've heard it's great. I'd love to hear from those of you who have been. What you think makes it stand out, maybe.
Yeah. And Wendy and Bob, who work with work with us and work with our members, every time they talk about their trips, because they've done a few trips with Azamara,
Mhm.
it just sounds like a cruise like no other. And of course, they're a little biased because because they work for the company. But I do love I love when somebody can really share like authentic passion for something,
Yes.
and they both do. But I remember you and I talking about Azamara, and you were so excited about these trips, and then it was like, wah wah. So we need to make that yeah, we need to make that happen. But all right, those are the events that are going on next week. What about the headlines, Jason?
Headlines. Well, the big story, obviously, this week was this late season hurricane that decided to roll through Florida and disrupt flights and close down Disney World and change cruise itineraries and all of that. But hopefully, most of the things are put back together. But there's still a bunch of people who were supposed to be on flights that now the airlines are offering big credits. I'm hearing to those people who are looking to give up their seat. So if that's any of your clients, you might want to let them know, or just to be aware of that in case they decide to do it and something happens to a trip you've booked. But those people en route to Orlando in particular are being offered some big credits, is what I'm hearing. So that's one thing going on this week. I mean, most of that's kind of put back together. They're just working through that backlog from what I hear. I did see something interesting, and we talked at the beginning about the upper end of the market spending more, and in the network news this week, I added some flavor to something that my father actually wrote for travel leaders last week, and that is the giving the gift of travel this holiday season. And a couple of studies came out, one from Deloitte and one from IBM. Now, I didn't know, I guess I did know, IBM has a large consulting division, but I didn't know that they were in the habit of consumer studies and things like that. I knew Deloitte
Yeah,
did that kind of stuff.
yeah,
But
I didn't
anyway,
know that
so
either.
IBM and Deloitte put out some studies saying, the higher income earners this year, even though they have plenty of cash still, they're ratcheting back the gift spending, and it's kind of in line with kind of something I was saying in the network news this week. That look, I mean, iPhones, televisions, all this stuff, it hasn't really changed all that much in the last few years. During the pandemic, lots of people spent lots of money on gadgets, electronics, things for the house and all those kinds of things, right? Because they couldn't go anywhere. And now they're saying, well, okay, I don't need to spend on those things. So especially at the higher income brackets, they're planning to spend less on stuff and more on experiences, more on travel. And Deloitte says, gifts down 5%, travel up 7%. IBM says travel might be up as much as 20%. So it's a real thing. It's not just an idea, and especially this year. So please do reach out, go check out that article. There's some concrete steps of things you can do very easily to reach out to your clients and plant the seed that travel as a holiday gift this is the perfect year for it. So have you? I'm curious, Joshua. Have you ever received or given a trip as a gift?
No, because I feel like my presence is present enough.
Well,
So
of course it is.
oh gosh, yeah. What am I like? No, I haven't. But and you know this,
Mhm.
I have been fortunate to travel places, especially for work.
Right.
Um, but I haven't traveled a lot, or I hadn't traveled a lot. And the
Mhm.
moment I started working with people like Velma, who could tell me that's a stupid trip that you're doing. You need to do this. I realize I realize how much, and I have been fortunate to travel while I've been a part of the company. I've had these amazing experiences, and they are life changing experiences. The interaction that you have. For me, I love the people in the destination, and I have collected so many stories, and that would be a very meaningful gift to give, or have people travel, like family and friends travel with me, so we could have a shared experience.
Mhm.
That, I mean, you would, I think, for Christmases to come, you'd be at the Christmas table talking about, remember that time that we went
You would.
to
Yeah, you absolutely
Strasbourg.
would.
Yeah.
You absolutely would. Yeah, and you won't be doing that with the blender that's sitting in the cupboard, right? Like
Right.
that.
I
That's not
can't.
going to generate a whole lot of memories or conversation. So
I do not need any more caftans. That was really my go-to purchase during the pandemic. So yeah, don't need that. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff that I don't need, but
yeah,
I now, because it's like an episode of Hoarders, I definitely need to go on a holiday. Leave it to me to kind of
thank
bring
you
it
for that.
down a little bit.
No, but seriously, I really would encourage all of you. Send an email to your clients, see if they've thought about that, and I think you might be surprised that some have, and start pulling that thread and unravel the yarn or the ball yarn, whatever the analogy is. Get people into it, and you can probably do something with it.
Yeah,
Um,
and well, I just want to add, this is the time too, because people are going to. I've heard it over and over from our members, that this is the time when they're together as a family, and they haven't been together for 8 months or whatever it is, and they're like, we should do something. So if you
yep,
plant that seed, then you're probably going to be a little bit of Thanksgiving table fodder. So
yep, yep,
I think
yep,
I'd
yep.
take that.
Um, Another thing, we haven't talked about COVID much lately,
Let's,
and that's a good thing, right?
yeah,
Knock on
yeah.
wood. But I did notice this week that three cruise lines dropped their pre-departure testing: Disney, Seabourn, and Holland. Um, and I think each of those had those testing requirements. They kept them this long for different reasons. But I think it's one more good sign that segment of the industry, along with the industry as a whole, continues to kind of come back to normal and then keep accelerating. So I thought that was good to see and worth mentioning. This I just thought was funny. You ready for this?
I,
This was
brace
this
yourself.
this is not news, y'all, but there's a tiny bit of news. But I just thought it was funny. So this advisor down in Florida has a client, and some of you may have seen this story. They have a client who is a big fan of Carnival Cruises, right?
Okay.
So this big fan of Carnival Cruises goes on the cruise. They have a cocktail, and then maybe a few more, and then probably a few more. And then the next thing they remember, they have been kicked off the ship and fined $500 for violating Carnival's code of ethics. Well, that's maybe bad enough, certainly on its own. But this particular Carnival fan had 9 bookings with future bookings with this advisor that Carnival then canceled. So this poor advisor had booked 10 cruises, at least 10, with this client, probably many in the past, and 9 of them in the future they will not be receiving their commission because their client violated Carnival's code of ethics. Now the learning point. So I just thought, from the individual's perspective, it was kind of amusing to me. From the advisor perspective, it's a real bummer. But the learning point in it is make sure your clients are aware that many cruise lines do have things like a code of ethics, and if they break the rules, not only could they forfeit future bookings and be escorted off the ship, probably not too nicely, but they can even be fined. So I was not aware of that, so I wanted to share it with you. And I'm trying to picture though. What do you have to do to get kicked off? Like what? How? Where is that line? Like what do you? Apparently they got a little mouthy. Was the quote? What do you have to say to get kicked off a Carnival ship? Like, right?
Well, and I have been on, I actually haven't been on a Carnival cruise, but I have been on a cruise where, everybody in the club getting tipsy. And, I would have said some people were mouthy, but yeah, that
Right.
would have to be a whole other level there.
We have to go
Um,
right to not for a carnival to say we're kicking you off and we're fining you and we're going to cancel your next 9 bookings. Like we don't want anything to do with you. It had to be something, I don't know, pretty serious. Anyway, I just thought
n-
that was worth checking.
nine bookings. I mean, this is
Yeah,
a true Carnival fan,
it
and
is.
they're like,
I mean,
peace
the
out.
poor loser had gone to the work of making 9 bookings. And now they're not going to get paid for it. So that stinks.
Okay, so without telling tales out of school, if any of y'all
Yeah,
have any stories that you can kind of like, you don't get into the details, but if you want to drop those in, I hope to
I'm
goodness you
sure they
haven't
have
experienced
some
anything
some
like that.
crazy stories like that. I'm sure
Yeah,
someone has a crazy story like that.
yeah, yeah. So, do you have any more headlines for us?
I got a few more if we got time.
We do have time, and then I want to go back to the comments. We have a couple of comments in there, but let's wrap up some of the headlines here because this is
I'll give
good
you. I'll give
stuff.
you. I'll give you one serious one and one fun one. Serious one. I don't know those of you. Last week we were talking about Norwegian paying commission on NCFs. We're kind of in that wait and see period while other cruise lines follow suit. Well, Celebrity, rather than wait and see, they come out and say, absolutely not. We're very content with our commission policy. Now, to their credit, right? At least on their all included fares, they do pay commission on the Wi-Fi and gratuities and beverages, so they're kind of paying commission on some of those kinds of things. But they're not making any kind of proactive move or move, following suit in Norwegian's footsteps. So again, I'll re-underscore what we said last week. The only thing that will pressure or cause any of the cruise lines to make moves is if they see their market share dwindling. So, but I found it interesting. Celebrity kind of came out pretty forcefully on their Beyond inaugural and said, "Nope, timeout. We're not changing anything."
Hmm.
So I found that interesting. Now, here's something fun for you. Um, Apparently, Virgin Voyages has broken a record, a Guinness Book of World's Records record. Do you have any idea which record they broke, Joshua?
I don't know, but I know Wendy out there who's watching has been on Virgin and she
Right.
loves Virgin. So I hope that she was not involved in breaking the
I
Guinness
don't know.
record.
Maybe she was. Maybe she
Okay.
was. And I can't believe this was actually a record to begin with. But
Okay.
Virgin has broken the Guinness World Record for the biggest number of assembled mer people. That is, people wearing mermaid costumes. So they got everyone together on their Bimini Beach Resort, the Virgin Voyages Beach Resort, and they had something like, oh man, I got the number here. Where is it? Where is it? 457 of their sailors, that's what they call passengers. They had them in the beach in mermaid costumes. And you might wonder, well, what was the previous record, right? If
Yeah.
457 is the new record, the previous record was set just last June, 378, somewhere in the UK. So Virgin Voyages, you got to hand it to them. That's a great little PR thing. Cost them very little to do, and here we are talking about it. So kudos to you, Virgin Voyages. Well done.
Well, I just think that what they should do is everyone that sails should
Uh-huh.
get the mermaid costume, so or mer people costume, and then they can just that can be their thing, right? Like, and do you
Instead of the
know?
bathrobe in your room, in your stateroom, you get the mermaid
Yep.
costume. Is that the deal?
And then I would guarantee you, there would be many of us like this. We would put it on because we were so excited in the cabin, and then we would hop to the pool. And then somebody else would say, "Why didn't you just put it on at the pool?" And we would say, "Okay, that's a good idea." But so we're you and I are from Florida, so did you ever stop at on the turnpike or whatever and see the little brochures for Wiki Watch?
Wikiwachi?
Yeah,
Yes,
Wiki.
yes.
Now, have you ever been? Because I've never
I have.
been.
We went on a field trip when I was, I don't know, 10, 12, because it was maybe an hour from where we lived, and our entire class or whole grade went to a field trip to Wikiwachi.
Well, I always would see those, and beg my mama, can we please go do this? I would love to see mer people sucking air out of a garden hose. Yeah, that
I'm going to go out on a limb, Joshua, and say that 12-year-old Joshua would have enjoyed it more than 12-year-old Jason did.
I probably, yeah, probably. Yeah, yep, that would happen. Now, can I share? Yeah, I don't mind. This is all family and friends here.
Yes.
Um, I didn't know until my 40s that the Guinness Book of World Records
Uh-huh.
was started by Guinness. I don't know why that didn't make sense to me. I didn't connect the dots. That Guinness ale, I had no idea, and I feel kind of stupid about that.
You know,
Did
I
you?
feel like I heard that at some point in the past, but if you would have, without saying that, if you would have said, "Do you know who started it?" Maybe would have said the beer company, but not very sure. So you're right. Thank you. See, I've learned something now.
Because our entire life it's the Guinness Book World
Yeah,
Record.
it's
It's
the book.
that's what it was, right? And I had what a marketing idea that here people are in these pubs telling stories and they created a book, and so there's a whole division that just goes out and goes and looks at 457 mer people. Um, I kind of want that job. I kind of want that job.
We
Anyway,
need to find a random category, Joshua, and Travel Quest Network can hold the world record for something silly.
okay, so let's put it out to our amazingly creative network. If you can come up with something for us to do,
We're gonna own
maybe
the record.
we will bring out Guinness so they can document it at Travel Quest World in 2023.
Love it. Let's do
You
it.
love it? Okay. All right, we're on a mission. All right, let's go over to the comments before we
To the
wrap up. I hope you guys are having fun. This has been a very very fun show, and I love that we get to do this each week. Let's see here. Hold on. I gotta scroll. Everybody's been chatting up a storm here. Oh wow, lots of stuff. So guys, I'm catching up. Hold on a second. Okay. Let's see. So Daniela responded back when I was just trying to confirm if she is hosting both of those groups, and she said yes, she is. I think that sounds like the coolest job in travel. I mean, I know it's a lot of work, but hosting groups, I mean, would you host a group, Jason?
Would I host a group?
Yeah.
It depends on. I'll be very honest with you. It depends on the group. Like
Okay.
if it was the right group, It would be a lot of fun. If it was the wrong group, I don't know. I don't know.
Things that make you
But
go, right and wrong. Okay.
yeah,
I,
I know. I'm the
I
yeah.
definitely wouldn't. I would
Maybe.
definitely wouldn't want any mouthy person that's going to get me in trouble. Because I
So,
guarantee you, if that advisor had been on that ship when that happened and saw 9 sailings go out the window, I think there could be
overboard.
a little gross bodily harm going on. Um, let's see. Tanya said 2 weeks in a row. I get to watch you live. Happy Veterans Day to you all, Tanya. So glad that you could join us live again. Oh, and Stacy said I was stationed in Cuba. Would love to go visit as a civilian.
Oh
Love
wow.
it. Let's see. All right, so Jen is completing her challenge that she kind of like got cut off. She said, "My challenge this week, as I was boarding Disney Dream, I found out that a client was supposed to be boarding the Allure of the Seas at the same time. The primary the primary passed away unexpectedly
Oh no.
um, at home that morning. Now I'm working with the wife who wants her cash back. Royal Caribbean has been absolutely amazing to work with, but apparently neither of us are working fast enough for her,
Mm.
which that would be tough. That would
That that I mean, yeah, you could say that again. That's a very sad situation. I'm glad to hear that Royal is responding quickly, and I know you're doing your best to help that client. But that's a very hard situation,
yeah. And
and you can understand
yeah,
their
I think
emotion.
I think that's probably, and I'm not a therapist, but I have a feeling that that's something that they can focus on to kind of
Yeah,
help them get
yeah,
through the pain because she's saying that she's getting texts all through the night. So okay, so this is no surprise to you, Jason. We know her, we love her. Um, Wendy, who also is in Georgia, she is just kind of chiming in on our idea to have me on stage and Velma heckling. She said, I want to join Velma in the heckle section. Um, so if you guys don't know Wendy, I think it's a wonderful relationship, but she can just look at me and I know that she's got the wheels are turning and she's about to tell me something that's yeah, she'll heckle me. She'll heckle me with her eyes. I adore you, Wendy. You keep
That's the best part about Wendy. She can heckle you without even saying a word.
yeah. Yeah. I'll look at her and she'll be like, sorry, 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 sorry. And I'm like, that's even worse. That's even worse. No, I adore you. Kara said she's going to join in. So basically, Jason, should we just have like a section, the Peanut Gallery at Travel Quest World? I think that Kara, Wendy, Velma, I love it. I love it. All right. Let's see. Elena said that she needs to dig into Agent Profiler. So I think the message is being received.
Good.
If you are not using it's free. It's free and we teach you how to do it like no other. I mean, we got it down. This is not we're not being boastful, but yeah, we are. A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Let's see here. Hold on one second. So Rebecca said, haha, I need to market to those people. I make mermaid bras and mermaid crowns and sell them on my Etsy shop. Rebecca, I think you should call up Richard Branson and say, hey, I got an idea for you. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Oh, so much going on here. I hate the fact that the show is over, but if you are watching this on demand, whether you're watching it on YouTube or you're listening to the podcast, you need to go to the comments in our members only Facebook group because that's where some fantastic conversations are happening and they just bring a smile to my face. So thank you guys for participating in today's show and you guys make the show, right, Jason?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would not be here without you, that's for sure.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't. We'd still be talking about this kind of stuff. I definitely will say that, but nobody nobody would be there to encourage us. So,
Or
anyway.
heckle us.
Or heckle us. All right, guys. Thank you for another great weekly chatter live. Please tune in next week, Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. You can join us live, or of course, you can watch it on demand or listen to it on demand on your favorite podcasting type channels. But can't wait to see you next week. Jason, any words of wisdom as we say goodbye?
I hope everyone is just able to enjoy this weekend. We have the holidays coming soon. I know there's lots of last minute activity both at home and professionally. So take this weekend if you have an opportunity, spend it with friends and family and enjoy yourself.
Couldn't be a better way to end the show. Take care, guys. We'll see you real soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.